So this is a pound dollar analysis for Monday, April 23rd. Now, let's just have a look at the prices and where prices may likely go. So previously we had prices trade slightly above this 43 level, making a new high. Didn't quite get up towards that 43.95. New high for 2018, from which we did see sell side momentum come into the market, posted a lower high. Another sell side momentum came back into the market again, bringing us below the 41.96. Broke above 41.96, brief consolidation, broke above the 200 period average. Then we saw the strong sell side momentum come into the market, take us down to the 40.69, brief consolidation, retested from underneath, and then we did see a sell side momentum take us back down towards this 140.05. Now, from this 140.05, we've actually had a break by this large candle here, and we are having a retest of that 140.05. If we do see the continued sell side momentum and we do break down from this 140.05, we're then looking for price to progress down towards that 39.42. Here to the downside, successful break from which we're looking for price down towards at 139, and if we do see sufficient volatility to the downside, 138.57 is the very next major level that we are looking at. The very next major level is all the way down at 138.35, so 138.57 possibly being the far end of the range here to the downside. Now, if we do, however, see a successful break and hold of the 140.05, we are then looking for, just bear with me a second here. So if we were to break back above and hold on to this 140.05, we're then looking for prices to head up towards that 140.69. Successful break from which we're looking for price head towards that 141.18, while being aware that 141.50 where we do have the 400 period average, but ultimately beyond the 141.18 we're looking for price to move up to that 141.96 where we do have the added confluence of the 200 period moving average and the horizontal level, thus increasing likelihood of seeing sell side momentum come into the market from this 41.96, bring us down towards that 41.18. We don't anticipate prices moving much beyond the 141.96. But the very next level beyond the 141.96 is a move up towards that 142.66. What we'll do now is we'll have a look at the higher time frames to see how prices are developing here on the pound against the dollar. And as you can see, we've had a continued recovery here in the pound against the dollar to the upside. Now, this on this monthly chart, what's of concern is we've had this strong move to the upside, made slightly higher highs, but we have seen the sell side momentum, so we do appear to be putting a bit of a pin bar now. So if we do see continued sell side momentum, there is a possibility of somewhat challenging this bull flag here, might somewhat invalidate it, but we'll see how far we do see a retracement before we see that bullish buy side momentum come back into the market. As long as we do continue to operate within the shadow of this very large candle here, the low of which is 34.58. As long as we stay above that level, I would suggest there is still a bias here to the long side on the pound against the dollar from a higher time frame perspective. Now, if we have a look at the weekly time frame, and here on this weekly time frame, we can see that we've posted a series of higher lows, had strong move to upwards, had another strong move to the upside. Now we trade slightly above the on the weekly time frame, above the 200 period moving average on the weekly time frame, but again we've not closed above it. And again, we've seen that last week we did trade above the 200 period average, but again we closed below the 200 period average, and we posted a pretty strong bearish week last week. Candle closing near its very lows, so there is a possibility of seeing that momentum follow through. Might see some retracements, but the momentum follow through into this week, and we see a further retracement on the pound against the dollar. And if we have a look at it from the daily time frame, and on the daily time frame, we can see it's a pretty sharp sell-off here. So we did trade above these 43.43, our highs from over here on your left, earlier in January 2018. And what we are seeing is we saw a series of very strong bearish candles closing near their lows. Firmly, I would say the bears are firmly in control of the market at present. We are down to an area where previously had a swing low and supporting around at 40.05. So we look to see if we do see that continued breakdown. At the moment, we are seeing that breakdown from this 140.05. But if we do see that continued breakdown, again, we did mention the very next major level that we were looking at in around these swing lows here in the market. But overall, the market does seem to be turning around a little bit here on the pound against the dollar, especially over the short term. We do seem to have a degree of bearish momentum overhanging this market. And with that said, that wraps up the pound dollar analysis. Thanks for watching.